Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger, and I'm in an extra good mood because today is New Guitar Day. Now, back in 2021, I won an online auction on this guitar. Back then, this was a black Squier Stratocaster. Since then, I've sanded this down. We painted the headstock, and I put this Fender Stratocaster decal on it. Now, if you turn it around, you'll see where it says crafted in China with the serial number and also Squier. So I'm not trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes when it comes to the value of the guitar. But from 10 feet away, you might think that this isn't a junky Squier and that it's actually a Fender Strat. That's the idea the concept that I'm operating under. This one's all about the brass. We've got brass saddles, brass knobbies, and there's a brass tremolo block. I had originally Alnico 5 pickups in here, and then I tried a hot rail. And when I did that, I said, this is going to be, how long is it before I pull the hot rail out and put something else in there? And that's what it was. We ended up with this, it's like a custom wound pickup, and it's comparable to the singles. It's not too much of a volume jump, although it is. I'm able to use all positions on this guitar satisfactorily, and it has served me very well. I love this guitar. There's really nothing I don't like about it. The tones I've been getting are the best guitar tones I've ever had in my life. That's because I'm using a combination of some really good analog boost pedals, a germanium Rangemaster, paired up with a mid-range or a bass boost. And I run that in tandem with a really good sounding amp modeling device. So that's why my tone is what it is. It's a combination of those pedals and that device with this guitar. And what makes this guitar special is the brass saddles with the brass block. Of course, I've replaced the potentiometers and rewired it with vintage cloth insulated wire, and I got a Sprague orange drop capacitor, and that's a custom value. I forget what I ended up settling on, but I love that guitar. And it's had a couple of different sets of tuners in it. Like, there was lessons that I learned as I went along where I won't have to. I didn't really necessarily spend a real lot of money, and the stuff that I ended up replacing was never really expensive. It was always like, well, that part there was only a $5 hot rail, so not too big of a deal. The new one, this Squier, is a Chinese. It's 25 years old. It was made in the year 2000. May have been 1999, but the it's a CAE-00. That's the beginning of the serial number. And I just could not believe how nice everything was when I took it out of the packaging today. I was like, wow. I had my eyes on another guitar, and at the last minute, a bunch of people bid on it, and it was a little bit more than I wanted to spend. Then there was a guy on a Facebook Marketplace deal where we went up to meet him, and he blew us off. And that guitar didn't have strings on it. he deleted the auction and like blocked me on social media. And then like 10 hours later, the guitar showed up again, but it was in the next state and it had strings on it. And they had drawn flowers growing up on the headstock here, and then in the back, the flowers, there they were covering the serial number. So that guitar was stolen. Anyway, I ended up with the guitar that I was supposed to end up with, because this is a better guitar. The neck on this guitar is so nice. It harkens back to my 91 American Strat. That's the only thing I could compare this to. Now I'm going to sand out the neck pocket here, the neck, what do you call this part of the neck that goes in the pocket? Sand that off and test some dye. I have a leather dye coming that's orange yellow. That's the shade. And we're going to go for a vintage amber. And I've got some images I can show you what that looks like. We're definitely going to be sanding this off of here, and I've got another Stratocaster decal that I'm going to use. When I bought the first one, it came in a set of two, and my wife actually found I had the other one in an envelope. So the guitar came today, and I was like, the finish is so nice on it, and it is a little bit thicker than the other guitar. There is no fret wear. Like, usually there'll be little bumps that you can see where people played the guitar, where they pressed the strings into the frets. There'll be indentations there, and there's none of that. So the strings were cashed, and they had replaced the high E. I think what happened, they bought this guitar, and they played it really enthusiastically. They had put some marks in the paint and marks on the pickguard that I ended up removing. But the high E string had been broken and replaced. And when they replaced that string, they did not cut it. So it had excess, like 4 inches of excess. But those strings were cashed. So I think that was it. As far as the action that this guitar saw was just that initial, they gave it to the kid. He played a little bit, broke the string. They put a new one on him. New string on it for him. He played a little more, and then it sat until now, and I ended up with it. So we'll see. I'm gonna sand this down in here. This is where you don't see where it goes in the neck pocket, and I will test the leather dye. I'm going to use a heat gun. I got a set of 3 plastic paint scrapers from the dollar store, and I'll glove up and try those. If not, in the past I've used a power sander and sandpaper and sanded these down. You remove all the finish and then prime it and paint it and then put the clear coat on. So I'm going to be trying using the heat gun this time. I've never done that. We'll see. I can always revert to my old standby and go with the power sander. What I have in mind is I'm not necessarily going to do a reissue of a 63 or a 62, but that's the idea of what I'm going for. So if you'd like to see what that looks like, I have some pictures here. Right off the bat, you notice this pumpkin colored neck, and that's where I was going on and on about the dye, the leather dye. So we'll have to see. These are authentic style vintage Strat tuners. And I have nickel version of these. They're not locking tuners. I just got the regular. I normally replace this nut with a Graphtec, and I'm not going to do that this time. We're going to see how good the stock nut does. Now, the magic on this build is between the flat white paint, the mint green pickguard, and then these yellowed out or aged the plastic. I don't want any white on here. He's got it pretty much going on except the white whammy bar tip. That's what I don't like. I'm going to be replacing, these screws are going to be black, flat black screws. And boy, I really like the way these vintage saddles look, but I don't like the way they feel. So I'm going to be going for some brass saddles. That'll be a more modern type of saddle. We see here another version of the same idea and how good it looks between having the white, the mint green, and then the aged. But these, again, these are vintage brass saddles, and I'm not going to be doing that. Here we see a more modern, like the tuner is not ovaloid. This is what was on the guitar. This is a Squier stock tuner. And I really don't like that look there. Like, I would have sanded this down and oranged this out and then put a regular fender sticker on here. Also, this white is a little bit intense. It's really white. Along with these pickup covers, he's got those are actually just white. They're not aged. And he's got modern style chrome saddles. I'm going to put brass down here. But this is a similar idea. Now, for the strap, Elvis on his comeback TV special in 1968 had this real particular strap that's the same thing that Jimi Hendrix had on when he played a white Stratocaster. It's actually like a cream colored Strat with a maple neck. But Hendrix had the same strap. You see that? And that's the strap that I have coming for this Squier, my 63, I guess we're going to call it. So that's what I got going on. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving, spent quality time with my mother-in-law, which was really a lot of fun, hanging out with her. She's great. Looking forward to a holiday with a distinct lack of drama this year. You guys, it's been great that you chose to spend some time with me. Wish me luck on this project. It's going to be fun. I've got the parts on order. They're going to be coming, and we're going to be going through the process of refinishing this and putting it together. I can't wait. I've got a couple of new songs. They sound just like the rest of the other stuff I've written. The one, I use the distortion on it. Hey, how do you like that? So I look forward to playing those for you guys. Try to stay warm. It's cold out there. I always like to say hug your pets, and I mean that. They need extra love. I will talk to you guys. Happy holidays and peace.